Hey Rasmanites, how's it going? I hope the angle is okay for this episode. My tripod isn't exactly broken, but it's got a loose piece in it, which is making it one of those things where it's really hard to get the camera in place and it takes several minutes to do. So I hope the angle is okay for this one. If it's not, please just bear with me. I'm going to try to get a new tripod as soon as possible, but they're not exactly cheap. Anyway, today we are going to talk about Dollhouse Season 1, Episode 12, entitled Omega. Today, on the Razman's Reality. Omega was the network season finale for Fox. And what I mean by that is, for those of you that don't know, there is an episode 13 entitled Epitaph 1, which was basically made specifically for the foreign market, who, for whatever reason, wanted a reversal of fortune for them and wanted a longer season. So the foreign market requested the 13th episode, and the 13th episode actually didn't air on Fox until 2 weeks after it aired in the foreign country market. But anyway, we're not talking about episode 13, that'll be the next review. Episode 12, Omega, was the episode where he basically had everything that you saw in the entire first season come to fruition. The title Omega may or may not be a dead giveaway. If you're a smart mark, it should be, because we mentioned the debut of Alpha in the last review, and Alpha is the central focus of this episode. You learn his backstory, and the reason that this episode is called Omega is because of a saying from the Bible. Alpha and Omega, they go together. So, and this one you learn that what makes Alpha so unique and special is that he had the same thing happen to him that Echo's having to her, and that his brain wipes aren't exactly staying, and he's actually retaining all of his personalities. The difference for him is that he retained every single personality that he's ever been imprinted with. And it caused him to go a little crazy in the head. So much so that when he was an active doll and he falls in love with Echo, he tries to ensure Echo becoming the #1 doll by going on a killing spree against the Dollhouse and trying to get the #1 doll, Whiskey, out of commission. Something he actually succeeds in, because the then #1 doll, Whiskey, is actually revealed to be who we have believed to be Dr. Saunders this entire time. Played, I believe, by Amy Adams. If I'm wrong about that, my correction will be an overlay, but I'm almost certain that it's Amy Adams of Enchanted and the Fighter fame that plays that character. But in actuality, it turns out this entire time that she has been a doll imprinted with the personality of Dr. Saunders, because Dr. Saunders is killed in the Alpha killing spree. So Alpha just is a little nuts, and because Ballard brought Alpha into the Dollhouse, he has to do something that he doesn't want to do in order to save Caroline, aka Echo. He has to actually work with the Dollhouse to stop the FBI from bringing the Dollhouse down and let the Dollhouse bring Alpha down internally. So he betrays the FBI and actually becomes an employee of the Dollhouse by the time season 1 ends. And season 1 ends with him saving the wife of Caroline / Echo. So a very intense episode, very, very great acting all the way around from all the major players. I apologize, I'm going to have to use overlay for this because my brain is just not cooperating with me right now, but the man who plays Alpha especially was tremendous in this episode. He was made famous for his role in Firefly, and he is just unbelievable as Alpha. So this was the episode that defined everything that season 2 was about, and that is Echo struggling with all of her personality imprints being retained, and she had that happen, even more so that is, and she had that happen to her because of Alpha. Alpha does the same thing to her that tries to do the same thing to her, rather, that happened to him, and that's implant every single imprint that she's ever had in her. And that's how she starts going down the road that we see from her in season 2. So, just a crazily intense episode. Ballard forced to become an employee of the Dollhouse and try to bring it down from the inside rather than succeed in bringing it down, which is what he, of course, has been working on this entire season. Just an incredible episode. Next time we will talk about episode 13, Epitaph 1, and because it was an episode intended entirely for the foreign market, and actually I have to correct myself, we did not get it over the air here in the USA. It was an episode intended entirely for the foreign market, and you didn't get to see Epitaph 1 as a fan until you bought this Blu-ray set. And I believe it was on the DVD set as well, I'm not entirely sure, but it was most assuredly a Blu-ray special feature. So we'll talk about why and the fact of how different it is in the next review. This is reality according to the Razman. And Razman style, it's not just a catchphrase, but a way of life.